You've spent weeks reading the textbook cover to cover. You know every date, every formula, and definition. But you sit down for the exam, read the first question, and your mind goes completely blank. You get your grade back, and it's barely a passing mark. High-level testing evaluates your ability to take raw data and apply it to scenarios you have never seen before. By the end of this video, we are going to build an application playbook. We will analyze the strategies examiners use to write test questions so you can provide the specific answers they require. To start, you need two things. Grab a blank notebook and collect a stack of past exam papers for the subject you find most difficult. Transitioning from passive recall to active application is designed to help you recognize and respond to unfamiliar question formats when they appear on the paper. When most students study, they simply stare at their notes. They read and reread the text, hoping the information will be retained through repetition. Successful students approach the text differently. They actively interrogate the material, asking specific questions like, is there evidence, or what assumptions are being made here? As they answer, they organize their findings into visual tools, like flowcharts, to manipulate the data. This habit of active questioning serves as an engine for learning. It forces you to convert isolated facts into flexible knowledge that you can adapt to various test prompts. Now, take your stack of past exams and isolate just one chapter. Go through the tests and write down every distinct way a question is formatted for that specific topic. You will likely notice a pattern. Even as subject matter changes from year to year, examiners typically pull from a finite list of question structures. In a humanities subject, you might be asked to describe and give examples of the methods a specific historical regime used to maintain political control. To answer, you must provide historical evidence to support your description. Another common format is the comparative source question. The exam will provide two different texts regarding a leader's impact, like Vladimir Lenin, and ask, how similar are these two sources? For every category you find, write down the specific cognitive skill the grader is evaluating. A comparative question, for instance, tests your ability to objectively present two opposing points of view. By categorizing the prompts this way, that stack of practice papers becomes a manageable list of specific skills you need to practice. Once you identify the question categories, you need a strategy to provide all the required components. We do this by creating a full marks checklist derived from the grading rubric. Consider a source-based history question. The prompt asks why Winston Churchill delivered his famous Iron Curtain speech based on an attached excerpt. A complete answer requires two immediate steps. First, you answer the prompt directly. Second, you cite specific details pulled from the provided source text. There is a third component that is often missed, citing outside historical knowledge that proves you understand the broader context. When you know the exact components required for a complete answer, you eliminate guesswork. This ensures you include all the necessary elements the examiner expects. This strategy applies to math and science subjects as well. For these, we use the X-matrix method to categorize numerical problem types. Imagine a grid. The vertical axis lists core concepts. The horizontal axis shows minor numerical variations. Many students fall into the variation trap, solving dozens of identical variations along the top row. Instead, study vertically, encountering every core type before practicing a minor variation. If you master the core logic of one base type, you can apply those steps to solve the numerical variations attached to it. Prioritizing range over repetition ensures you are prepared to identify and solve the core question types on the exam paper. Look at your notes now. Those practice tests have been condensed into a strategic application playbook. You now have a blueprint for the different angles an examiner might use, and a list of the components required to satisfy the rubric. By shifting away from a reliance on rote memory, you have now successfully developed highly adaptable application skills. Your next step is clear. Pick the chapter you struggle with the most today. Pull the last 5 years of exam questions for it, and map out your X-matrix. Using this approach turns the exam from a series of unknown challenges into a system of predictable requirements you are prepared to meet.